Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. Come in, come in, come in. We're so excited today. We have a special guest on Adobe Live today. I'm so excited. But before we get to this wonderful guest, I have to do some quick, just notes. Please don't forget to join the Adobe Live community, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us at Adobe Live on Instagram for the latest streams, updates, and more. Okay, we got that out the way. My name is Justine Kirkman. I am the artist and owner of Winnie Weston. I am here today with Alanna Flowers. She is a lettering artist and designer behind AGF Design Studio. Hi, Alanna. How are you?
I'm great, Justine. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's a Tuesday. We're rocking, we're rolling.
Absolutely.
So let's just jump into it. Can you show us some of the work that you've done before and then tell us what you'll be working on today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. I'm Alanna. I am a lettering artist and designer. So, I just have my Behance page up. So, I'm just all about lettering. What can I do with it? How can I transform it and just do cool things with it? So, I don't know. One of my latest projects, I did like some GIF animations for Giphy arts, and you know,
Cool.
it's really playing into what we're going to be working on today because I like to do, expressive lettering, mixing the lettering styles and really sort of warping them and transforming them to just sort of help us deliver whatever message it is that we're that we're delivering. So I just like doing fun things with letters, honestly. Like, I don't know. And then sometimes it's not always like movement. I did a piece for my domestical course, which is an Adobe Fresco course. So I did this piece,
Wow.
and that is like the example for the class project, created in Adobe Fresco, and just teaching people about
Amazing.
expressive lettering. So, uh,
Yes. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it so much. And just so if you are in the chat, Wade, one of who is another favorite artist of mine, he actually put Alana's link to her Behance and to her website. So if you have a chance, definitely check that out. So Alana, what will we be working on today? I'm so excited. I can't even talk.
A bit of a tongue twister there. Yeah.
Yes.
So today we're going to be working in two programs, actually. So we're going to be working in Photoshop and Adobe Fresco because we're going to be creating a motivational, like punny poster, combining a photograph with some lettering. So it's like a two-parter today. So we've got a lot
Yes.
in store.
Perfect. Well, you can jump on in.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'm working all iPad workflow today. So this is Adobe Photoshop on the iPad. So in case you didn't know that there is a a Photoshop version of iPad that, or an iPad version of Photoshop, actually, reverse that. Now you
Right.
know. So yeah, I'm thinking I'd like to think practically and personally for myself. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to make the poster huge because like it'd be nice to print this later. So I'm just gonna like go down here to create new,
Hmm.
and we're working in inches. So I'm just gonna like do like tabloid size. So 11 wide by 17 inches high.
Hmm.
And we're gonna make sure that resolution is nice and high. So 300 should be perfect, and I'm a monster, so I'm gonna leave this untitled for now because I just want to get into
That is
into work.
me.
And I'm
I
just
never title anything until
I know
it's
I'm
done.
just like, I don't know, like I'm not thinking about that right this
I
second. So
know. That's me. Like, I don't title anything. I don't even title layers.
I know, right? I'm just like, I don't know. It's the truth, okay? We can be open and honest with the community on Adobe Live, so it's good.
We can. And that's actually a question for our little community over here in the chat. Do you guys title your artwork before you even start it, or do you title it after? Leave a comment in the chat. Let Alana and I know if we're the only ones who do that.
I know. It's okay. This is safe space. You can be honest.
Yes, it
We won't
is.
judge you.
We will not judge you.
Okay, so I've got nice blank canvas, cool, ready to go. So I grabbed some photo options. So I'm just gonna go into my file section here, and I have this Adobe stock photo that I chose it because I'm just like, well, at least where I am here in New York in the States, it's summertime, but summer is like quickly leaving us, and I'm just like,
I
no.
know, I know, I know.
So I just thought this picture was hilarious. And I'm just like, this would be perfect for like a motivational, like silly, punny poster.
Yes, I love it.
So I'm like, this is where we're starting. Feel free to name the watermelon in the chat. Not sure what kind of vibes it's giving off, but it's screaming
Yes,
summertime to me. Um,
it is
so
screaming that.
So I've got my layer panel open to the right here so we can see that I've just got like my blank canvas and then the photo that I just imported. So I'm just going to give this layer a little tap and then hit these three dots here. And where am I going with this? Okay, I'm going to copy my layer. And then I'm just going to hit paste because I don't trust myself. I don't edit on top of original versions of files because I like to change my mind. I don't know. I'm just like extra layer of caution and protection for
Yes.
myself. Cool. So now that we've got that squared away,
Mm-hmm.
um, we're not going to be in Photoshop long because they have all these quick little features to make things super simple. So I'm just going to go to this select subject action because what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try and get this little watermelon guy separated from the background of the photo.
Mm-hmm.
So can zoom in a little bit and see that it's pretty, the selection is pretty good. Like for the program, just doing it, no input from me, just figure out where the watermelon is, pretty good.
Pretty
I,
good, pretty close.
yeah, so I can just go into my selection tool and I can just grab my quick selection just to make some additional, just like quicker, more precise pixel selections where I feel like it missed a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and just get it a little bit closer to that edge.
I think that's what I really love about Adobe products, especially Photoshop. They really do try to make it as easy for you as it can get. And so you only have to go back in and make, little edits. It's not like, oh my gosh, I need to do the whole thing. Oh God. Like they get pretty close to it, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm just like, I am such a fan of whatever can make it faster. What is the program already like ready to do for me so I don't have
Right.
to do it? Like I'm all for that. So
Same. Thank you,
that's
Adobe.
yeah, that's my jam. So I'm just like double tapping to undo occasionally if I'm like, oh, I didn't make that selection as good as I wanted. So really simple. And I think, just checking out my little marching ants around this guy. And I think we're in a pretty okay space. So what I am now going to do is I'm going to tap my layer again, and I'm going to hit copy selection. So now that isolated watermelon with his fun little hat and his sunglasses are copied onto my clipboard, and we will
Mhm.
revisit that in a moment. Now, I don't want him to be visible at all. I just want a nice clean background because like I said, we're separating him from the background, but if I just cut him out, it'll leave a big hole, which I don't want.
Right, right.
So just going to hop right back into my selection tool and I am going to grab my lasso. I'm just going to roughly go around that. And then at the bottom, you'll see like an additional menu with like all of these little options pop up. And I'm just going to tap the content aware fill option. So we're going to let that work its magic.
Work its little magic.
And presto, he's gone.
Oh, wow.
So I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
gosh.
amazing. Exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, like
Filled it
perfect.
out.
Right.
Boom.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So I'm just like I said, shortcuts, love them. Little click and it's done for you. I love that.
I love that. We all love that. We all love that.
Yeah, save me time, save me stress. So now I'm just going to paste my little isolated watermelon friend onto his own layer. So now you can see he's free floating. He's all by himself. He's free,
Mm-hmm.
no longer attached to his background.
Right. Be
And
free.
be free, watermelon.
Be free. Somebody called the watermelon Julian the melon.
That's really like, it feels like distinguished somehow.
It does. Like,
I love
I feel
that.
like they should have like a bow tie. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Julian the melon. I love it.
I love that too. Okay, so now you may have or may not have noticed, but we've got a lot of white here where I would prefer for it to be yellow. So let's fill all of that out too and just finish this up. So could go about this a number of ways, but I'm just going to keep using content aware fill because I really like that feature. So I'm just going to grab my lasso again, just sort of grab a little bit. Okay, that wasn't as clean as I wanted. LOL. Let's go back. Just trying to touch those edges. Okay, cool. Okay, let's hit content aware fill again and see what you got for me.
Ooh.
Ba-bam.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so that's the top. Now we can just repeat the same process to cover up that bottom. Again, just tapping that little content aware fill. And bam. Okay.
Wow. It like magic.
Wonderful.
Literally.
So now we have a
Literally.
nice smooth yellow background, and it's like there's like subtleties to like the yellow. It's
Mhm.
not like completely flat. It's got a little bit of, dimension to there, so it
Yeah.
keeps that personality, I think, in a better consistency than just like grabbing like the eyedropper tool would and just like filling it or something.
Right.
um so
I
that's the
love how
magic
you
show.
just did it so quick. It was just like bam, bam.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this. Like we weren't gonna be in Photoshop very long because of these
No,
like because of these fun little shortcuts that I've discovered. I'm like, everyone should use these.
I love that. So, Alanna, tell me, when did you, I guess, get started or interested in Photoshop and that world? Because you're like it's a masterclass right now.
Oh, that's so funny. No, yeah, I would say that like I mean I've been using like Adobe programs and stuff like that for like a while. Because I have a graphic design background before I became like a freelance designer and lettering artist and stuff. So I've been using Adobe programs for a while, but it was cool sort of figuring out the workflow and the kind of magic of the iPad version. And it's really nice for me because I'm like, I get to touch everything and use the gestures and, interact, I feel like, more
Mm.
closely with like my stylus and stuff. So I'm
Hmm.
just like, I really enjoy the iPad workflows for the Adobe programs. So I'm just like, if I can just stay on the iPad, I will totally do that and like
Okay.
don't like not touch my computer.
Right. Oh my gosh. I know. There's something about being able to touch the screen and
Yeah,
oh man.
I
Yeah.
agree. But okay, so we've got cool. So we did exactly what we came to do here. So we've got our little separate watermelon layer. We can toggle that on and off. Backgrounds isolated. Wonderful. So we're just going to hit our publish and export command in the top right hand corner. And then we're just going to make sure we save this as a Photoshop file. And I'm just going to save this to my files, and I'm gonna still be a monster and leave it untitled. Um, and boom. So now
I love that.
I'm gonna just switch over to Adobe Fresco, and we'll get into the lettering portion, which will be the majority portion
I'm so excited. No,
of
I
the spring.
really am like so excited for this. I
Yeah.
love watching people, number one, just be their creative self, but lettering to me is such a, it's so, you can do so much with one word. Like it can, one word can look like so many things and so many moods and vibes. And so
Hmm.
I'm ready. I'm
I,
ready.
I hope
I'm
everyone
ready.
in the chat is ready as well,
Right.
because
Let us know, chat. Are you
we're
ready for
going.
her to start
Are you guys
doing more
ready?
magic? Yes.
So,
Um,
yes, I too am excited because I love working in Fresco. It's like what I do 99.9% of my personal and client work in. So, this is like my favorite thing. So, I'm just going to go into the bottom right hand corner here and hit import and open. And I can import my Photoshop file that I just saved, this good untitled file. um, and yeah, and you'll see that my layers are all preserved from Photoshop. They're exactly the
mhm.
same. So that's great for us. And yeah, so like I said, we're going to be creating a punny motivational poster.
Yeah.
And the reason why I separated everything out in Photoshop to begin with was because I wanted to play with the interaction of having, some lettering pass behind our little watermelon friend here. So yeah, we're gonna see this unfold in real time. I can only prepare but so much for these things, so we'll figure it out together. But I can still isolate these things and interact with them, just like I was able to in Photoshop. So you have the same amount of freedom. I think I'll just start by doing myself the kindness of locking my background layer, because I
Hmm.
don't actually want to draw directly on that. So now I have just like a nice fresh blank layer waiting for us. So I said it would be punny, and I don't know, maybe people won't get it, but the phrase we are going to be adding to our poster is I'm one in a melon.
Oh, that's so cute.
Ba-dum.
Yeah, we need it. But
I know, I'm just like,
yes.
I know it's insufferable. It's really like derpy or whatever, but I thought it was really funny when I saw it. And yes, I did look up melon puns for this. So
Perfect. I love it. And now I want a watermelon. I don't
I know. I don't know. I'm just like, it's summer, and I'm just like, it's funny, and or at least I think it's funny. And it's like
yes, it
motivational
is.
because you are. And if you don't
Yes.
if you don't get it, it's a play on the phrase like you're one in a million. Like there's no one
One in a
out there
million.
like
Yeah.
you. There's no one out there like you.
There's
So
no one.
so, be
Yes.
yourself, be unique.
We need that. We need that reminder.
Yeah, right?
Yes. Oh my God. We need that reminder. I tell myself that
Absolutely.
all the time.
I know, right? I'm just like, I just sort of I'm just like, yeah, I'm a little offbeat or whatever. I find certain things funny, but that's okay because that's what makes me me.
Right. Right. I mean, golly, Beyonce said one of one. That's
Oh,
it. It's just me. It's
yeah.
just me,
Hey, she
and
knows.
it's just you. She
She
does.
knows. Okay,
Beyonce knows it all.
absolutely. So, yeah, we're just gonna like rough this out. Like it's like I said, it's gonna be rough in the start. So we're just gonna throw some text on and see where things go. Feel free to ask questions in the chat or whatever, or
Yes, please do.
send
I'll be sure to,
vibes.
yes, I'll be sure to read them out loud to Alanna so she can answer them for you. So leave some comments, leave some questions. I actually do have a question,
Oh, sure.
Alanna. For
Yeah.
you, how do you determine how you want your lettering to look? Like, is it going to look sleek? Is it going to look more fluffy and light and airy? Or is it going to drip a little? Like, how do you determine what it looks like?
That's a really great question. I mean, I think sometimes it depends, I guess, on what I'm lettering, I guess. So it's just like, okay, sometimes I'll go really literal, like earlier when I'd shown my Behance project for like the Maya Angelou quote about like rainbow and clouds, and like I actually like lettered it in like the word cloud in like an illustrative style of a cloud. Sometimes I take that approach, but other times I'm just like, I don't know. Generally speaking, the only thing that I usually know for sure is that these lettering styles are going to mix. So it's very rarely all sans serif or all serif. Like I just love the way that mixing lettering styles adds just like another dimension and level to lettering and to
Mhm.
the overall piece. So I usually will go for that in some degree. So I'm either like mixing a sans serif and a script, or you know, a serif and a sans serif or something. And then always there's like you know, visual inspiration. Like I try to surround myself with visual inspiration, or you know, go to that Pinterest board or whatever. So
Right,
yeah, it's
right.
like all these kinds of things will definitely
That
inform.
combine together
Definitely
into what you
inform.
make.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So what inspires you? I know you mentioned getting that inspiration. Is it primarily what you hear or what you see? Or is it more to uh what you hear, like music? And quick
mm,
note, Alanna, can
mhm.
you move your mouse cursor?
Oh,
Um yeah,
are we good?
yes.
We don't want to
Perfect.
obstruct the
Thank you.
view of the melon.
Yes, we need to see everything. We need to see everything. So I was basically asking, is
Mm.
it more based on what you see, like if you find interest from Pinterest, or do you get inspired by, I don't know, like movie posters or um, songs or podcasts, television, books?
Oh yeah, it's like everything. I feel like it sort of depends. Like sometimes, like when I'm just going about my life or whatever, it'll always just be the most random thing, but I'll just stop and I'll be like, I'll have to take a picture of this. Like my friends are so annoyed, like my boyfriend's so annoyed. He's just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I have to take a picture. I'm sorry, but like if I don't take a picture right now, I'm gonna lose this visual inspiration like
Right.
moment, and then I won't remember later. So I do a lot of that. And then like going back to that, I call it like my visuals album or whatever on my phone, with a lot of just like random moments
Hmm.
like that. And then other than that, I mean, I do a fair amount of scrolling on social media, um, and just like seeing what other people are up to, honestly. Um, Advertisements too are a big source of inspiration, I feel. So
Yeah.
it's just a lot going on out there
Yeah.
in the world. So I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
There really is a lot that, like you just look around and you're like, wow, that's interesting. And I know for you, especially I mean, lettering is so, I feel like there are some iconic lettering that we just know to recognize, like Target, Starbucks, and, there are so many different um, iconic ones. So I can imagine that there's a lot of inspiration always around.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's just like, especially I think I feel like maybe that's that that like what I described, like those moments of just like something hits you, just like I need to make note of this, or something is just like a something maybe that creatives can uniquely relate to, maybe.
Right.
um like I don't know anyone else in my life that like who's not a creative, like they can acknowledge that something might look cool or nice or like packaging or something, but they're just like, it doesn't like make them stop in their
Right. They're
tracks.
like, oh, yeah.
This is like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's like, no, 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 but like, look at it.
Right. I know. I'm like you too. I'm like, no, for real. Like, look at the color. Look at, and some people are like, oh, it's like regular pink. And it's like, no, this is like magenta, something else. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it must be like a creative thing.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind being that person in my friend group. It's been long enough now. They're used to
I
it.
know. I know. And I think they love I think everyone who has a creative friend in their friend group, they really do appreciate us and they really do love.
Oh
They really
yeah.
do love us.
Like, what isn't there to love? Like, come
Right,
on.
right. So now you're kind of sketching out what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, this is just like a very rough idea of like possible placement. Some things that I'm thinking about are like I know that the word one is mostly obstructed by like the hat, but just making sure that I'm keeping in mind the legibility of it all so that like too much of the N isn't covered, or too much of the E isn't covered, so then it doesn't look like an F or something, so then it's just like, okay, I
Hmm.
can't even read what you're what you wrote. So just keeping that in mind as I'm just sort of pushing things around and just doing some rough placements.
Hmm.
But
I'm
yeah.
so curious to know how it will come together
Oh,
with
I
like the
am
colors you
too.
use. That's me too. I'm always like, yeah, I mean, I'm curious as well.
Yeah, right. It's like, I don't know how this will work either, but
Right.
we're going
That's
on this
actually
journey.
a question for the chat.
Mhm.
When you start creating, do you know where you're wanting your creation to go? Do you have like a sketch thought in your head, or are you the type of creative where you can just sit down at a blank piece of paper, sheet of paper, whatever it is, and kind of just go off of just off the cuff? I'm curious to know what the chat thinks about that because
Yeah.
it depends. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I have this idea, this thought. And then other times it's like, I don't know what I want to do. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm
We'll see
always
what
looking
happens.
to hear from other creatives out there and all of
Yes.
that.
I think that's what I really love about Adobe Live is that um, there are so many creatives that you may not know about that Adobe Live is really good at showcasing just the different talents that are out in this world. Um, so kudos to Adobe Live for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm like, I wasn't sure really about like the style of M. So I just cut the other M and just sort of tried a new one on top of it. So this one's like just more of a sans serif mixed with the script on the for the rest of the letters, but this one is more like traditional, I guess, or
Hmm.
like a style of script M. Not sure if anyone in the chat has any feelings strongly for the script M versus the non-script. I don't know.
Right. Let us know.
I don't know. I'm open to suggestions and thoughts and feelings. I'm just trying to keep it all together on this Tuesday, hanging out with everybody.
I know. Oh my gosh.
But a change that I did make that I kind of am liking, I think, is I moved the in from like being close together and like over there like on the left side to like separating them.
Hmm.
And I feel like I
Yeah.
like that better just because it fills out that little empty space
Yeah.
that was to
It
the
definitely
right.
is feels balanced.
Yeah, I'm just like, and I just want to do as many little moments that go behind the image of the watermelon as possible, because it's just like that's the part of the fun of like having a photograph to play with and like add lettering to.
Absolutely. I love that watermelon. When I saw the watermelon, I just immediately wanted to call the watermelon Walter the watermelon.
Oh my God, I love that name. That's
You do, Walter.
awesome. That's so cool. I like that.
Walter.
To the
So it's either
watermelon.
Julian the melon or Walter the watermelon. I don't know.
I mean, they could have multiple personalities or identities. Who knows? They could be a spy or something and assume
Right.
many names.
Right, right.
Who knows? But okay, cool. Swag. So This is one rough iteration, and we're gonna start to slowly refine on top of this and make some more firm decisions. So I grouped all of my lettering on that in one group so that I could just adjust the opacity to everything at once. So I'm just like knocking
Mhm.
down that opacity kind of low. Oh, and then it redid itself. Okay, let's do that again. Knocking down the opacity, and then I'm just going to make another layer on top. And I think I'm going to add some guides on top of here to give me a little bit more structure and see where these letters will go. So let's do it using my handy dandy ruler tool. You know,
Mhm.
now I'm thinking, what if it wasn't straight? What if it was straight on the top and curved on the bottom?
Ooh, interesting.
So we'll do like a straight line, and because like the word one I kind of drew like on an angle. So
Mhm.
maybe we follow this idea and we do
Mm.
sort of more of an angle for that as well.
Wow.
Maybe. Let's
Yeah,
see.
that could be really cool.
Yeah. And it honestly really happens like this. Like when I'm by myself, I'm just like, what about this? What about that? What about this?
Right. Like maybe this, change
Yeah.
this up. So for you, it's almost as if you do the first layer, which is like a sketch of what you want to say and how you want it to possibly look. And then you go over that and is that another sketch that you're working on? Or will this kind of end up being the layer that has the finished lettering?
No, so this will end up being like another sketched version, but not, I'm aiming for it to not be quite as rough as the first pass. Because that first
Mm,
pass was just like really like, I'm starting from blank. I don't even know where anything's going to go. So let's just throw it together. So now I'm just like, okay, there are some things to work off now. So we kind of know where we're going a little bit. So we'll use that to inform the rest of these decisions. So we'll still be using like our little pencil brush or whatever. So it'll still technically be a sketch, but it'll be a little bit tighter for
mm,
this go round.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oop, there we go. Yeah, and I just love this little ruler tool because it's just like straight
So
lines
helpful.
instantly. Don't have to guess.
That is so helpful. It's so funny how with technology, it's like, wow, you have a ruler digitally.
Yeah,
It's
right.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm always like amazed at um how the things that we had to do manually, how it like transfers over to
No, it's
digital,
true.
and you still essentially are doing it manually in a way, but um that's what's funny about it to me.
Yeah, no, it was definitely an interesting process, like going from working like in analog mediums to translating my workflow and how that would look in a digital, space. But I don't know, it's been pretty cool. I enjoy it. Like I said, Fresco is like my all-time used app, you know. Y- Do you see those if you like have Apple devices, they give you like a report of like how many hours you spent that week in
Right.
each thing or something. I'm like so embarrassed.
Oh, Adobe's like,
I'm just like,
90%.
yeah, basically, I'm just like, yeah, it is the reason why I spend a lot of time on my iPad too. So
I feel like that is a good reason though.
yeah, right. I'm being productive. I'm getting work done.
Yeah, getting work done, being creative,
Yeah, we're hanging out in the chat on Adobe Live. It's not a bad way to spend your time.
not at all. It's a great Tuesday to do that. It's a
Absolutely.
great Tuesday.
Okay, so because I want this to be a little bit more refined, a little bit tighter, I'm going to up my smoothing like all the way because I don't have it like that. My hands are wobbly and my lines are not always straight. So smoothing is what helps correct for those kind of things that happen.
Right.
So yeah, boop doop. So now I know. And it's cool because my little very rough under sketch doesn't have to be like exact or whatever. It's just to give me an
Mm-hmm.
idea
Of what
of
you. Mm-hmm.
mhm, exactly. And there's all these other things like, being able to snap and make ovals and stuff like that quickly in the program too. That really helped.
I love that because Lord knows.
I'm just like, huh, perfect circle. What? Not me.
Right. Never heard of that. Not by me.
Nope, nope, nope. So I'm just like, let's not even think about that. Let's just let it do all the
Right.
straight lines for me.
Right. Now, what are some of your favorite brushes in Adobe Fresco?
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. And I don't even have to remember all of them because I have them all saved in my favorite section. So the list is like long because I have a lot of favorites. But I would definitely say pencil 100% for sketching. And then
Mhm.
if I'm doing like, depending on like what kind of script style I'm using, like I'll do like the classic comics nib sometimes, um, or even the comics letterer brush. Yeah, it just depends on like what kind of effect, because a lot of these, I really love the, what is it? The blotty ink. Well, I think
Yes, I love that
yeah.
one.
Oh, the blotty ink here at the bottom.
Yep.
Amazing texture. I'm just like, wow.
I love
So
that one.
that, yeah, those are some of my favorites for sure. Cause I'm just like, wow, these look friggin' fantastic. And they give
I'm
you so much
telling you.
personality. Um,
Yes,
yeah.
they
So,
really do. I love that one that you just mentioned.
mm-hmm.
When I draw hair, I use that sometimes when I'm wanting to do natural hair, curly hair.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, and so I love those brushes that you just mentioned.
Yeah. I'm just like such a sucker for that stuff. I'm like, give me texture, give me everything. It'll give my piece life and therefore give me life. It's great. So I'm still not completely sold on this M, but
Mm,
whatever.
mhm,
I'm just following to the best of my ability my angle guidelines. So that's just helping me see, um, make sure that all of the angle, the slant that my script lettering is sitting at is consistent throughout the
mhm.
entire word. So as you can see, my first pass was not perfect. It was very quick and things started floating up to the top and all these things.
Right.
So that's why we go over it and we do it again. And that's totally cool. So yeah.
No, the guidelines are very helpful.
Yeah, I'm just like without a guideline, I'm like, what is happening? Which way is up?
Okay,
Yeah. But
literally.
but it really is like the what gives my lettering like foundation and good structure and stuff like that. So it's like
Yeah, evenness and
mm-hmm.
It
It's a
reminds me of being back in, like elementary,
yeah,
where when we were learning how to essentially, I guess, write. Um,
yeah. No,
you'd
it's
have
true.
the lines and whatnot,
No,
which was
it's true.
very helpful.
Yeah. Yes. A time gone by. I don't even know if they still do that anymore.
I wonder, I don't know. Like
No.
I don't know a lot of young, I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know a lot of like young kids who are like in elementary right now, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
even know who to ask, but I do
Yeah.
wonder if they are still teaching them that. And
Yeah.
I actually did hear that. I don't even know if they're teaching cursive anymore.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
right?
not
I'm just
sure.
like, it's like what does your signature look like then if if
Right.
you don't know how to write in cursive, then what is
Right.
it? Very
Exactly.
strange.
Exactly. So Alana, when you're creating um at home what are you doing? Are you like at a desk? I see you sitting at a desk right now, but are you primarily at the desk, or are you sitting on your couch? Are you watching something? Are you listening to something? Or are you just kind of drawing in silence? What are you doing?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like sometimes my mind feels so active as I'm creating that it sounds perhaps like there is something going on, even if like there's no music playing or whatever. Like it seems loud to me because I'm just like actively like talking to myself like through the
Right.
process. But if I'm not consumed by whatever next creative thought, then I'm a big podcast fan.
Mm,
YouTube, like long video essays on YouTube, stuff like that, that'll take like 4 or 5 hours that can like get me through like a big chunk of the process.
right.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Oh my gosh. What kind of podcast do you listen to?
Oh my goodness. I really like well, everyone, I mean, I feel like maybe a lot of people say true crime, but I really do
I
like,
was gonna ask you.
yeah, like history, like things that happened and like people are breaking it down, like, as it happened or
Right.
whatever. I'm just like, that's
Yeah.
so cool. And then I have the bad habit or whatever, the habit of um like getting like too antsy about like figuring out like what happens at the end. So then I like Wikipedia it and like
I
spoil it
know,
for
I
myself.
know, I know. You're like, wait, what happened?
What
I was
happened?
just gonna ask you true crime, but I was like, I don't want to be so.
No, no, I'm definitely into the true crime and all of that. So I don't know.
I know, me too. I would have to say true crime, definitely, or even not necessarily crime, but like
Mhm.
there's one called All the Things Remembered, I think, and
Ooh.
they essentially talk about just like the story of actresses and actors in the 50s, so like
Oh.
Marilyn Monroe and Ava Gardner, which is like more than 40, but yeah, so it's really cool. It's not necessarily like who done it or true crime, but
Uh-huh.
it's history about their lives.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I love biographies and stuff like that about people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm totally for all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe that more than music. Like I think maybe it depends on like what I'm doing. Cause like um if I'm doing something maybe that's like I've done before, that's like a familiar process or whatever, that's like not new or something, then like I'll listen to a podcast because like the words and like listening to the story actively won't distract me from what I'm doing.
Right.
But otherwise I'll need like lo-fi or something, like maybe something with like little to no lyrics or something that can just sort of fill out the background without there actually being dialogue that might sort of distract me from what I'm doing if I really need to like pay more attention. um so yeah, it just depends.
I agree. I agree for sure. And in the chat, if you do have any questions for Alanna, definitely let us know and I can ask her. And then also, um, yeah, what do you guys listen to when you're creating? Are you more of a podcast person? Are you more of a silent person or music, television? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I'm always looking for recommendations, so pass them along if you've got them.
Please do. Oh, wow, it's really coming together.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking about um just like this sort of flared serif, I guess, idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um so it's just like it's not super crazy or obvious maybe, but um I don't know, it's just something that was in my head. Sometimes I get really obsessed with certain lettering styles or like certain ways of illustrating letters that I've seen or something, if it was like recently or something. I'll get like really into drawing like letters like that for like for like a while.
Right.
Um, so I feel like this is just like stuck in my head to some degree. Um, but yeah, just
I
like
love that.
drawing this on top of um that little skeleton sketch that I just did. So like using that sort of as like the skeleton, like the little base, so that I sort of know where I'm placing the weight and the thickness of the letters and stuff like that. Because I really want the word one to like pop, especially since melon being the only word that's in script already sort of makes it stand out in its own way. So I'm just like, I didn't want the word one to just be like straight skinny
I agree.
sans serif. So I was like, let's give this a little bit of oomph.
I love that. That definitely did it.
Yeah, just like playing around, having fun. Just making maybe my pencil is a little too thick before. That's fine. It's all part of the process.
That's the thing I feel about like anything creative. It's like what you do, it's truly a part of a process. And sometimes it can be hard when you're creating because, you know, in the middle of the process, you're like, oh my gosh, this doesn't look good. This is like, I don't know. But if you can wait and just continue on and get to the end, it always kind of comes together.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm a big fan of like if it's not working, if you're really feeling like you're hitting a wall, like take a break, walk away from the file. I I think maybe this is like something that my art teachers told me in college or whatever, but it's just like fresh eyes, like look at it with fresh eyes the next day or something,
Right.
like because you've been staring at it for too long. Like,
Right.
so whatever idea you're so desperately seeking will probably come to you like at a later time once you're like not so much obsessively staring at this thing.
Right.
So I try to keep that in mind when I'm starting to spiral in the process.
I
Be like, oh
know.
my God.
I need a break. Hold on.
Yeah, right. It's just like, hey man. Okay, cool. So I like had toggled off that watermelon, Julian Andor. What was his name? Wally? I don't
Right.
remember.
Walter, but we can
Oh,
call him
Walter.
Wally.
Oh, Walter.
Wally is natural. Like that just felt right. So we can call him Walter Wally, the watermelon /
Amazing.
Julian the melon.
Amazing. I love it. So yeah, I had just toggled that layer off quickly, so I could finish drawing that letter. Sometimes I will cheat and like just like at the bottom if I know it's gonna be covered. But I'm just like, okay, I should finish out the letter because sometimes it will end up looking like weird. So I'm just like, okay, draw the letter completely, even if it's like
Right.
part of it's gonna be covered, like just do it. It's like, okay, it doesn't always pay off to take a lot of shortcuts.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. No,
Okay.
I do that too. I'm like, well, the hair that I do cover the shoulder.
Yeah, right. It's just like, well, I gotta ask myself these questions.
Right. Wade in the chat said, oh yeah, I usually have an ugly phase in a project. I just have to work through it to get past it. And of course, fresh eyes always helps. Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Oh
Very true.
yeah. I'm 100% understanding what he means by the ugly phase. Cause yeah, I mean, I feel like we all go through it. It's just like, yeah, I mean, this doesn't look good yet, but like whatever. Like
That's
that's
the
part of it.
attitude. Yes,
Yeah, it's
right.
part
It's
of
the
it.
journey. Right. It's the journey. Stay on the
Absolutely.
journey and you'll see it look good at the end.
Absolutely. Before I move on to the word melon and thinking about that more, I am going to quickly just like shade this word in
Mm.
to get a better sense of how it's looking, see the balance of it. Actually, I'm going to turn the smoothing off for this. It's actually better to have the smoothing off if you're just sort of quickly doing like filling in like this. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I try to fill in my letters at this point if I've drawn something with some thickness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Turn this off. It helps you see the forms better, and just sort of figure out if something looks off optically or whatever. maybe something's too thick, something's too thin, or something. But if it's not your intention to leave it hollow, then I would recommend filling it in just to see before you start like making more, I guess, final decisions. And then you end up feeling like the letters look weird.
Right.
Just like if we address this now,
That's good advice.
can probably
Before you
resolve
get too
it.
deep into it.
Can probably resolve things a
Mm-hmm.
little bit before things go off course a little bit too much. Okay, we'll bring back our melon. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you can like tell, like it definitely feel like it gives a different feeling, even just like visually, and having those forms filled in with some even just like black. So we're just gonna leave that there for now. And then melon. I still haven't decided on this M, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I like it looking like that or if I want it to look the other way. But this one was like definitely not drawn correctly. So
yeah,
it's like
I actually I like what you have. It gives me something different from the other from what else is going on. It gives me like something different, which kind of speaks to the phrase.
Oh my goodness,
the pun.
Right. You're so right, Justine. Man, it all comes together. Somehow it all comes together, guys.
It does.
I didn't even like think about that, but that is so true.
Yes, it's like, oh, like Mel, you truly are different. You really are different here.
Man, amazing. I love it. Okay, let's see what this would look a bit more juice. And
Wade said, number one, Wade had a comment. He said, I like where this M is going. But then he also asked the question, are you going to introduce color into the letter forms?
That's the plan, Wade. That's the plan. But honestly, I don't know actually. Well, it's usually the plan. We'll say it's usually the plan, but I don't know. Sometimes I think there's something very striking about the yellow and black combo. I feel like just because it's so like, I don't know.
That contrast.
Yeah, I think it's just me being weird in my own head. So we'll see. Perhaps we'll see that unfold here, or everyone will just have to see me upload it to Instagram later.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say it's 2:22, just so you know.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, so let me see if we shift this over a bit. Shift. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, so what did that do? It's making me think. Because it's like, yeah, it could be a bit thicker. Because like maybe, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm leaning towards making it thicker because I feel like it's not punching enough, you know. If I keep the forms too thin.
So
let's see.
That's nice.
We'll see.
That's nice. And while Alanna works, if you would like to nominate yourself or someone you know to be a guest on Adobe Live, submit your recommendations for creatives in the tab on Behance so we can see your creative process, because we just love looking at the different create. At least I do. I love seeing like how people work, and even if it's not my what I do.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like, you never know. I might try lettering. I might try my hand at it.
Do it. Everyone do it.
Yeah.
Everyone try to create your own lettering, because why not? I don't know. I'm like, I'm learning stuff all the time. Yeah, I'm still learning too. Like, this is like a, lifelong process or whatever. Like, I'm not going to ever just be done learning or knowing about lettering or about anything. So it's just like, yeah, let's just keep going. keep
Yes.
enriching ourselves. And like you said, like learning from other people's processes, because yes, I really do enjoy that very much as well.
Me too. I really do. I probably will stick to the expert, but it is nice to just, I think, do something different outside of what you do. Just to even give yourself a mental break of like, okay, this is what I know I have to do. So let me try something that I know I don't have to do, but I just want to do for fun. And learning something new and kind of just trying something different.
No, it's true. I 100%
Mhm.
agree. 100% agree. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I think we could go somewhere with this. Maybe I'm going to group these all again. Okay, what am I grouping? Okay, I'm just making sure I'm grouping only my lettering and not the guides,
Mm-hmm.
because I've got my guides in a separate, okay, guides in a separate group. Okay, cool. Oh, so what's this one? I'm like, what's in this layer? Oh, okay, that was just like another little scrap that I didn't end up
Why are you
using.
me? I'm always saying that. I'm like, what's in this layer?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I don't remember that. Let's figure that out for a second.
I
Um,
know.
okay, so now we got a little bit of a tighter sketch here. We filled out our forms, we've added some thickness and stuff, and that's awesome. And that makes me happy. I am thinking I might want to make just like a slight adjustment maybe before moving on to moving away from like my pencil brush for more sketching things, and then like choosing like our more final brushes to get like those cool effects and textures and things going.
Yes.
So I'm just going to duplicate this layer group, because who knows? I say that I want to do something and then I change my mind right after. So who knows? But I'm just like going to merge these quickly. I'm just going to like try shrinking this down a bit, and because I think I'm feeling that my spacing is a bit tight between my uppercase M and the rest of the letters.
Mm.
Like maybe everything feels just a little too squished. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like, can isolate things with the little lasso selection tool and stuff, which is like my lifesaver, because yes, I use it in Photoshop, I use it in Fresco. It is wonderful.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so it's just like an easy way to adjust my spacing and stuff like that quickly.
Yeah, without
With
having to like completely redo the
absolutely,
entire, yeah. Mm-hmm.
absolutely, because I'm just like, don't have time for that. But also, I'm just like, I know the program can do this. Like,
Right. So why wouldn't I let the program
yeah,
just do it on my behalf?
yeah, right? Like, come on, man, just do it. Amazing. Okay. Boop, boop. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Just for like a quick before and after. Like, it was a little bit bigger, skewed over to that side. Now it's a little bit more spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes my heart feel happier. So let's go with that. So now I will return it to its group with all the other lettering and confirm that those are in a group. Awesome. Okay, so same process as before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lower that opacity
And then work off of that
and work off
sketch.
a new layer.
Wow,
So,
there's
okay.
steps to this.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm just, like I said, I work in an abundance of caution. So I'm just like, I'm not trying to do the wrong thing. But also, I'm pretty sure that the program won't let me. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Like, it like prevents you from like doing certain actions. I know that like won't let you like just
Mm-hmm.
draw inside of a group or something. So I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain things that it's able to like save me from myself, kind of thing. But other things, like, I have to do it. So,
Right, right.
um, so yeah, this is the bloody ink brush
Oh,
that
I
we were
love
talking
that
about
brush.
before. It's just like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, I love it. It's
It's
like
so
so much,
nice.
yeah, it's just
That
so much fun.
texture.
Yeah, right. Like, let's see what it gives to these sort of straighter. Let me see. How big can my brush get? Oh, let's just test. Oh, that feels a bit nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just adjusted my brush size quickly. And my smoothing, yes, is on 100. Yes, because shaky hands for the win. It's my
Now,
life.
what
It
made you go
happens.
a little bit thicker than what you had before when you first did it?
Just thought in the moment it just felt a little too thin, a little too
Thin.
scrawny.
Mhm.
Because I'm just like, it's already not giving much because it's like I've already
Right.
de-emphasized those three words, I'm in
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just like, they're not gonna have no fun, they're still gonna get a little bit of texture, but I wanted to beef them up just a little bit.
Just a hint of beef.
Just a dash. But yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I love that texture.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Mm-hmm. So
So
fun. I
fun.
I love a lot of the brushes that come in Adobe Fresco. They are just naturally beautiful.
I know. I'm like, Kyle goes off. Like, he's just insane brush maker, dude. So
I'm
shout out to
telling
him.
you.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
just like amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm thinking. What should we do for our big one? It's interesting because I mean, we could try it. I mean, yeah, we could just try it. Because the blotty ink will give it a nice textured, outer,
Yeah.
edge, even
Mm-hmm.
with the forms filled in. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it'll like help it sort of look more visually uh harmonious or something. Or maybe
True.
we'll hate it and we'll undo it, and that's fine too.
That is the beauty of digital.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, I don't know. Who knows?
Right.
I'll
It's like, I
just,
don't like this. Well,
yeah,
get rid of it.
yeah, just do away with it. Totally fine. You do not have to commit. And I will not judge anyone for not committing to a creative decision in the moment because Lord knows I would be one to talk.
I know, me too. Me too. Oh my gosh. I'm like, scratch the whole thing.
Yeah, right. It's like, we're not doing this anymore.
No, no. And then, eventually I do find my way back to it and I'm like,
I know.
yeah, I guess I do like that.
Well, that's why I'll group stuff and then I'll turn the layers off, but I will not usually delete them until like the very, very end. Cause I'm just like, maybe an early idea, like just like a part of that idea is something that I want to use, but I wouldn't remember if I had deleted it. So I'm just like, I'll just leave it.
I know. I'm like the queen of like duplicate. Oh, we're duplicating a layer. Yeah. Like because
Absolutely.
I never know if I want to go back to it and say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and you know what? With the fresh eyes, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kudos to your art teacher.
Yeah.
But when you do provide, fresh eyes to your piece of art,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it will make you feel like, okay, maybe I do like what I did before.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily you were able to keep what you did. So that is the good thing. I know when I first started, especially using Adobe Fresco,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I one time, and y'all don't get me, but when I was early to it, I created everything on the same layer.
Oh
Now,
my.
of course, the skin tone and everything like that, I did, on a different layer, but
Uh-huh.
everything, like every little thing, I did on the
Wow.
same layer.
Wow. You're so brave.
I didn't know anything.
That's amazing.
I regret it. I like going back in my old art, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh my gosh, I could not, like, I'd have to literally resketch it
Mm-hmm.
in order for me to really even like use it because I couldn't even, like, if I wanted to change anything, it's like, no.
Oh my gosh, that's yeah, I'm like, that's nightmare fuel for a creative. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like, and all your layers
Yes,
are merged.
I
And it's like,
know.
no.
Right. It's like, oh my gosh. And don't let you do it and you don't know you're doing it. Because then you're
Ooh.
like, where is this? Like, how can I not erase this? What
Mm-hmm.
layer is it on? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
oh,
usually me. What layer is it on? Where did I put it? Yeah, that's usually me. I'm just like, I don't know.
yes.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh yeah, I like that texture.
Yeah, right. Like it gives the
Yeah.
outer edge like some crunch.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It
That
really
yeah,
does.
that makes me giggle. Um okay, so let's see what we got going on for our word melon. Okay, so symbolizing all of the ways that I'm super non-committal. I have like 50 million favorited brushes. Um, what is this one? Classic comics nib. I feel like let's give this guy a try. Or better yet, let me go into my brush settings quickly. Like test this.
Mm,
Mm, that's pretty cool. I mean,
that is very pretty.
it's very sharp at the ends though. It's kind of
Yeah.
pointy. Maybe a little too pointy for me, but
That was
hey,
pretty though. But I saw what you, it was very sharp at the
yeah, it's
end.
really pointy. But you know, it's
Yeah.
good because well, that's that brush and that's designed for that, whatever. Um, but there are plenty of other ways. Ooh, is my moving up? Oh, okay. I guess I'm just a little wobbly. Okay. Well, this is nice
Um,
because it's really pressure sensitive.
that
So
is, yeah, that is very nice.
hmm.
I'm laughing, Wade. Wade said, use only one layer and you're never working on the wrong layer. That's the way to
No,
look at it, Wade.
Wade's on to something.
Look,
I
he's
don't
on to
know.
something. I know. I'm like,
Um,
look, he might be, I might have to try that again. Hold on.
yeah, right. Like,
I might have to
mm,
go back to what I used to do.
yeah, right. Maybe you weren't wrong after all. That's funny. I don't know if I'm sold yet.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if I'm sold yet, but it's okay. We can keep going.
Hmm.
It's all part of the process. Like sometimes I'll just like I really will just like test out different brushes um and see because I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes it's hard to like use the same brush for every single piece, you
Mm-hmm.
know, or like even every single word or whatever. Like it just needs some things need other things, you know, from other brushes or effects or whatever. So it's hard to have a one size fits all, but that's okay because that's why we have like a huge brush selection. So the intention was never for it to be one brush to rule them all.
Right. I was gonna ask you, do you for one word, do
Mm,
you typically use one brush for one word for one whole word, or
mm-hmm.
do you, like you kind of mentioned, do you break it out where you might have like the first two letters I'll use this brush, and then the last two letters, because of how their shape is and what you need, you'll switch up and use another type of brush?
Oh, that's a really great question, actually. I try to stay consistent and just have everything with one brush drawn out,
Mm-hmm.
like if it's like one word. Um, because like I think I'd mentioned like visual consistency and like wanting to make sure that the letters feel like they're all related to each other. So it's like, okay, if I'm stylizing the same, I want the brush to be the same so that they look visually harmonious or whatever. Unless it's my intention to break up that sort of, you know, harmony or whatever and consistency, then like maybe I'll switch up a brush or do like a different brush for every letter um, to sort of maybe add to whatever the message is or something like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but generally speaking, it'll be one brush for each word or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And just so you know, you have like around 10 more minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm still using this brush, this what is it? Classic Comics nib. I'm actually starting to really enjoy this. So I
I'm
don't
liking
think
it.
I'll go back because I really love how thick those downstrokes get. And it's just like I'm just
Mhm.
applying a little bit of pressure when I'm doing my downstrokes so I can get those moments of thickness. Um, yeah, I'm actually really enjoying that. So I'm just gonna make a few edits here. But yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to
That's nice.
turn off my under sketch. Will I also turn off my guide layer? Okay, sure.
What?
Maybe I'll keep my guide layer on for like another whatever 10 minutes. Because
Right, right,
I'm just like, okay, it's starting to float in space, and I'm like, I don't know where everything's going anymore.
right,
I'm like, oop, thought I didn't need the guidelines. I was wrong.
right.
I was so wrong.
That's when
Actually,
you know you're really done when you turn off the guidelines. It's like, that's it.
yeah. I had drawn some sort of flourishy, scripty whip something here. That's usually just sort of improvised or something to
Mm-hmm.
fill out the space. I've seen people like do a little something off of the end of a letter like that or
Ooh.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps that's an
That brush
option.
is very nice. That
Yeah,
curve,
right.
so smooth.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow, that's really nice.
But it
Got some
has
nice
enough
personality.
texture. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some texture going. Yeah, it's got some like sort of related to that blotty ink brush from before. And I don't know. It does feel sort of like comic like, true to its name. So
Yes.
I guess it was probably based off of like the letters and anchors that comic book artists would use or something like that. Who knows?
I think so. I love a good comic book.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a comic book person, but like I'm totally a comic book movie person.
You know what? That too. That for
Yeah.
real. I
Mm-hmm.
used to my mom and well, I guess my whole family, we like the comic, superhero type stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I think my parents used to have like X-Men comic books.
Oh wow.
And
Nice.
so I really liked looking at those. I don't know, X-Men was just always so interesting because they had so many different type of characters,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of women characters as well, which I really enjoyed. Um, and so, but I do love the movies too.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I definitely did see that in the X-Men comics, those like different powers, and yeah, definitely a lot of female power and stuff like that. So that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Which one's like a favorite of yours? Are you more Marvel? Are you more DC?
Oh my
That's
goodness. I
the
don't
big
even
question.
like half the time I don't even remember who belongs to what, but I'm like, what came out the most recently? I don't know. Who's a part of oh, I like Marvel, I guess, because I'm just like, what's Iron Man?
Oh yeah,
Um,
he's Marvel.
yeah, that's Marvel. And oh, like Doctor Strange and stuff. I think that's so cool. I like him.
Yeah, I like Doctor Strange too.
Because I feel like his powers are like a cheat code. I'm like, you can just open up portals in the atmosphere and just throw the enemy through there. Cheat code, love that. Don't actually have to do that
Right.
much work.
I know.
I'm like, okay, people who actually know stuff about comic books are like, that's not really how it works.
Right, right, right. But we're over here like,
I
man,
know.
that's easy.
That's so funny.
Just do the, you know. No,
Yeah,
I do
right.
like Doctor Strange. I like Marvel. I lean more toward Marvel. I think when I was younger with when Batman had like that grouping of movies that had like Jim Carrey in it and
Oh yeah, like
you
Batman
know,
Forever was so good. Yeah.
yeah, it's like they were more quirkier and so I think I liked them back like in the 80s and 90s and
Mm-hmm.
then they got really like deep in the 2000s and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is
Mm.
scary." And so then I think I went more toward the Marvel, which still had like a little bit of lightness to it. Um,
Yeah,
but I'll watch them all though.
I definitely agree. Okay, so I've just like started like adding like a little bit like little illustrative elements to like sort of fill out the um the negative space, sort of
Right.
thinking about that a little bit. But
That
I'm
looks so
also,
good.
yeah, I'm thinking seeing what like a little if we dropped this back and did like a little bit of a drop shadow type idea, see how that would change things as
Mm-hmm.
we are probably close to wrap up time. I'm just looking at the green in the in the sunglasses and seeing
Yes.
if that could inform some inspiration. Oh, at least definitely
Oh.
perhaps for the word melon or something. Um,
Oh.
but maybe like do a deeper green or something for the shadow or something.
Wow.
That's so
That looks
funny.
great, Alanna.
That's so funny. Just
You
like
like really just from the sketch to the final look. I mean, you did such an amazing job.
yeah, no, this has definitely been fun. I'm just like, this definitely will need more little tweaks here and there, but it's definitely going in a direction that I don't hate. So that's
Yes.
always great.
Right, 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 right. Oh my gosh. And just for everyone out there, can you let them know how they can find you? Are you on TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, all the above? Let us know.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm basically everywhere. You can find me on Instagram at Alanna_Flowers. I'm on TikTok as that. I'm on Threads. And I also have a YouTube channel under my studio name, AGF Design Studio, where I post tutorial style videos in Fresco, Photoshop, on lettering, all sorts of stuff. So you'll find me around the internet quite a bit.
Awesome, awesome. Is there anything else that you're like you want to add to your lettering, or are you like this is good?
Oh, yeah, no, this definitely isn't quite finished. I'm thinking like if I want to deepen this shadow a bit, like I'll definitely need to like, connect those gaps there, just make it nice and solid. Which will just take like another, pass or two with the brush. But yeah, I think this is definitely going in like a funny, fun direction. So
It is
yeah.
so cute. And what made you pick that specific green? Because I there's like the melon green and then there's the
Mhm.
sunglass green.
Yeah, I don't know. I the thought of a watermelon wearing sunglasses, right? So like that's so funny. It's just like, oh yeah, there is green in the watermelon too, but like my eyes were just drawn instantly to the sunglasses, I guess because it's just like so random.
Yes. No, really. I love how you tied it all together, like with that green. Because I definitely think it like makes it pop just even more and it connects that color, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, I think Wade was definitely right in predicting adding some color to this. So it's just like, nah, I couldn't make it all black, man. We gotta
Right. You're like, no,
this
I think I
this
want to
needs a little
add
bit
something.
something. Yeah.
Right. And then I saw you were starting to put lines next to the I'm, but you
Yeah.
decided to carry it on the bottom
Yeah,
next
like
to the in
yeah, I'm like, I'm not convinced. Like, I don't know. Maybe I could, maybe I'll come back to it. But also, like I said, I'm like, I'll just end up posting this on Instagram and like on my Behance, where everyone can see like the final. But um, yeah, I highly doubt that I will make a finalized decision before the streams close. I'm just like, okay, guys, I hate to keep people on a cliffhanger, but I'm gonna have to do it this time.
No, that's all good because we'll just like they'll follow you. If they don't already follow you, they'll follow you and they'll make sure that they see the finished look. Oh,
Yeah.
so I see how what you're talking about, connecting and
Yeah.
filling out the rest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just like a little connecting these spaces to just targeting any of the gaps, really.
Mm-hmm. I
Just,
love it because it gives me like such a nice vintage look.
yeah. I think it's definitely fun, especially for like a poster, It's just like you want it to like stand out and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So, as you can see, I mean, I've got some stuff up on my wall, but like there's a lot of white space still to fill out. So, I think these colors will definitely be a good thing for my very blank walls.
That's the thing about being a creative. You can always can literally create what you want to put
Yeah, just whip up
on
your
your
own
wall.
decor. Absolutely.
Right.
Just like,
Perfect.
nope.
Oh wow. And in just that little minute of time, you added just more to the melon part.
Oh, yeah. It's like, okay, I'll prioritize this one since the gaps were a lot larger for
Right.
this word than they were for the other one. I'm just like, okay, those look really, really big. So, oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that did something.
That did something. Wow, right in the nick of time.
How fun.
How fun. I'm loving that you decided to add the green. That really like the black was nice already though, but the green really just took it to another level.
Yeah. Mm, I am very interested to see where all of this will go once everything is said and done. It's like I surprise myself too, everyone. Like
Right.
I am on the same ride as the rest of you.
You're shocked as well by the end of it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. Really didn't know where this was going, but that's the magic of Adobe Live. So
You are not lying. I'm telling you. It's
yeah.
all very like it's all very much like we'll see how it ends,
Yeah.
everybody. Well, yours looks so good, Alanna. I'm so happy we got a chance to chat and for me to see your process.
Oh yeah. It's been so much fun hanging out with everyone. Yeah, it's
Yes.
all wonderful vibes. I love it.
I love it. And we got a good pun out of it too.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna be telling people that like, oh, I'm one in a melon. They're gonna be like, huh?
It's okay. We'll get the joke.
Right. I'll be like, I got it from Alanna. Okay. Go follow her and you'll see what I mean by that. Oh
Amazing.
my gosh. I know. I love this. And I just love how you also gave just such great advice on how to use Photoshop and Adobe Fresco um, and have it make it work for you versus you having to, work so hard.
Oh
Good.
yeah, yeah, these programs are quite advanced. They can do a lot. So literally just start clicking around. Like I swear, like just figure out sort of where things are and what they can do for you. Because yeah, you don't have to do too much sometimes. Sometimes.
Right, exactly. So thank you guys so much for joining us on Adobe Live. Thank you so much, Alanna. I had such a great time. I hope you guys in the chat had a great time as well, and you guys who are viewing had a great time. Obviously, she did such an amazing job. Definitely check her out on her Behance, on her Instagram, on her threads, on her YouTube channel. And hopefully she'll show us the final look once she's kind
Ooh.
of still working her magic.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you
so
guys.
much.
Yes. Bye.
Bye, everybody.